The earthiness from the mushrooms, the garlic, the spice from the red pepper flakes, the corn, the ramen, everything's delicious. 10 out of 10, recommend. You gotta try this. All right, so welcome back. I'm Annette Harris, and we're going to cook another budget-friendly, healthy, vegetarian meal. So I found this recipe on Budget Bites. It's vegan creamy mushroom ramen. However, I'm gonna make a little bit of changes because the recipe does call for coconut milk and vegetable broth. And some of the reviewers said that it wasn't all that flavorful and that the coconut milk overpowered some of the ingredients. So I'm going to show you how to cook this quick and easy meal in less than 12 minutes. That's what it says it is. So I've already done my prep, which took about 3 minutes for me to prep. Also earlier this morning, I created the creamy cucumber salad and boiled some eggs so that I could put it into the ramen. So we're gonna start with sauteing our mushrooms. So I used avocado oil to saute my vegetables. So we'll put this in here, and I've already rinsed my mushrooms as well. So I have 8 ounces of Baby Bella mushrooms. Make sure you rinse your mushrooms. I know they always say that they already come rinsed and everything, but rinse your mushrooms just to be healthy. This meal is a serving for 2 people, and it says that it costs $2.75 per serving. So this is going to be some very tasty ramen. I'm throwing my little flair on my spices there. So I have my oil heated up in the pot. I'm gonna throw these mushrooms in and saute those. I'm also gonna add in some of the red onions. So the creamy cucumber salad that I made called for 1/4 of a red onion, but I still have some red onion left over and I don't want it to go to waste. So to give it a little bit more flavor, I'm gonna cut up 1/4 of this red onion so that I can cook it down and just give it some more flavor to the ramen. So with the red onion, it can overpower a dish, so that's why I want to cook it with the mushrooms. So I'm just gonna slice it and then dice it a little bit to break up that, and the mushrooms are already cooking. So I'm gonna make these some small diced red onions. Again, this is in real time because I want to show you how easy it is for you to cook a meal on a weeknight. So I'm gonna throw in these red onions here. That's done. Let me get my spoon to stir it up. And I already got the sliced Baby Bella mushrooms, so that could be a little bit quicker for me to cook on a weeknight as well. So this serving is for 2, but you can always double it. A lot of these ingredients you may have on hand, except for the mushrooms and the red onion. We don't always have those on hand, but it's a quick stop to the store to get an 8-ounce pack of Baby Bella mushrooms to get this healthy meal. I already have my ingredients prepped, like I said, and I'm gonna throw in some additional flavor. So I did the 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, the 8 ounce of the Baby Bella mushrooms. It then calls for 3 cups of vegetable broth, but I'm gonna do 4 cups of chicken broth instead because I wanted to give it that flavor, and I'm getting rid of that 1 cup of coconut milk. So that'll be my 4 cups of liquid. This recipe also calls for 2 handfuls of fresh spinach and 2 packages of ramen noodles. I'm also gonna throw in some whole kernel corn and the boiled eggs that I cooked earlier this morning. So I'm gonna let that saute. Over medium heat until the mushrooms are soft, dark, and the moisture in the bottom of the pot is gone. So that shouldn't take too long. So we're at 4 minutes in right now. I also have some onion powder. I like to use onion powder instead of onion salt so that it doesn't put too much sodium in the disc. And then I have garlic powder as well instead of garlic salt in the dish. So that is steaming. I also want to put in a little spice, so I threw in some red pepper flakes. So again, this is a quick and easy meal from the Budget Bites website. They break it down for you. So the 2 tablespoons of cooking oil could be about 4 cents that you're spending on that cooking oil. The baby Bella mushrooms are the 8 ounces is about 85 cents for this meal. Probably a little bit more than that if you get the full 8 ounces of it. And then you have the 3 cups of vegetable broth, the 4 cups of vegetable broth. And you can find that, you can get the great value kind, you can get the dehydrated kind from Walmart, your local store. I like to get the store brand instead of the name brand Swanson's. They all taste the same. It's the same ingredients, slight variations. And then you have your ramen. So I have chicken ramen. You can use beef ramen, but what you are going to do, because that seasoning packet is in there, it could distort the flavors. You are not going to use the seasoning packet. You're going to take that out and not use it at all. I'm going to just keep cooking this here. And this is just going to be a vegan/vegetarian meal. So the creamy cucumber salad, made that this morning. It's sitting in the refrigerator. We're going to take that out to pair with it as sort of like an appetizer for the dish or alongside the dish. And I threw the eggs in because when I eat ramen, there's typically eggs in my dish. So with those, like I said, I made them earlier this morning. I'm gonna cut them in half. Not on my hand. And just throw them in the pot once I add in the broth. If you use the dehydrated broth, you can go ahead and boil that in advance. So then once the mushrooms are sauteed, all you have to do is throw the broth in. If you are not getting the broth that's already in the pouch. So I'm gonna give you a quick look. The mushroom sauteing. Here. So we're 7 minutes into this dish cooking, probably less than 7. So I gave you an explanation of what was going on first. All right. The prep time was also easy because I just pulled everything out of the refrigerator. So I have my mushrooms are done. No more moisture in the bottom of my pot. I'm gonna throw in the vegetable broth, and then it says turn the heat to medium-high heat once I throw this in. And it's already warm. So I'm gonna put this on medium-high heat to get it boiling. It says once it starts boiling, then you add the ramen for about 3 minutes or until it's tender. So I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. I'm also going to open up the corn. I am not going to put the moisture from the corn in there. I'm gonna drain it and just have the corn floating around in there. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so my soup is already boiling so fast. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of onion powder real quick. That is getting all the moisture in it, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna throw in my ramen. Again, do not use the seasoning packet. Does not take long for ramen to cook. I'm using 2 chicken ramens. Just add that in. I'm gonna add in some garlic powder. A little bit of garlic powder. Red pepper flakes. This doesn't have the little top. Not too much red pepper flakes because I don't want it to be too spicy. And then I'm gonna add in the corn as well. So let me go drain my corn real quick. Again, quick and easy meal for you, your significant other, your family. You can also double this recipe if you're cooking for a family of 4. Put this in here. Corn. The ramen is softening up really nicely. Slow down the boil a little bit, but that's okay. It's coming back. And then after I put in the corn, I have in my onion powder. You can also put in some garlic. I didn't put the garlic in when I was sauteing, but I have some squeezed garlic that I did not use. The next step is for me to throw in the spinach. And then when you throw in the spinach, you want to turn the heat off. And then since my eggs are already cooked, I will also just have them sitting in there after I put in the spinach too, and uncooked. It's still going to be hot and absorbing all of those flavors. Again, this was a very quick and easy meal. And I was able to use some of the leftover from the creamy cucumber salad. These recipes and other recipes are on Budget Bites. I tell this to my clients all the time. If you want a quick and easy meal that's cheap and budget friendly for you and family, visit Budget Bites. I'll leave a link to this recipe down in the chat and also to the Budget Bites website. It's smelling delicious. You can smell all the flavors from the mushrooms, from the garlic, from the red pepper, the corn. You can throw whatever you want into here. And I like the fact that the recipe calls for spinach because that gives it a little bit of fiber. Makes it a little bit more filling. So about 1 more minute of the ramen boiling. And then we're going to be done. We'll be ready to serve dinner. And none of this required measurements either. You just eyeball it. Flavor it to your heart's content. What do you do with that leftover seasoning packet from the chicken Moroccan ramen? You can toss it or you can use it for something else. All right, so my ramen is about done. And it's still going to cook a little bit more when the heat is off. So I'm going to turn it off now. And again, just 2 handfuls of spinach. You may already have this in your refrigerator. 1, 2. Also, I'm going to toss in the eggs that I have. And then we're done. Less than 12 minutes. Making a quick and easy weeknight meal that we're gonna pair with the creamy cucumber salad. All right, y'all, it's done. So this is my first time making this meal, so I'm gonna let you know what it tastes like. Again, with my enhancements, get a little bit of everything on here. Look at that steam still coming from it. All the flavors. The earthiness from the mushrooms, the garlic, the spice from the red pepper flakes, the corn, the ramen, everything's delicious. 10 out of 10, recommend. You gotta try this. Again, it was the vegan creamy mushroom ramen. Again, make a little bit of enhancements so that it fits your palate. If you like the coconut milk, add it. Delicious. You got to try this out. $2.75 was how much this costs to make. Send it to your family, friends. Go to Budget Bites. Check down below in the comments for the recipe. for joining me.